Hi, this is Denver Noah's President of Wealth for Life. We're going to give you a quick recap of the college funding training that we had in Scottsdale the other night. So if you were there, this will kind of be a quick recap. And if you weren't there, it'll give you some good information. But we had Scott Rule on there, and Scott's one of the top college planners in Arizona. He dumped a lot of information on it, and it's great that it comes from Scott because Scott's also a CPA. And when you look at college planning and how you can save tens of thousands of dollars, it's so critical to integrate that with the tax side, and that's why it's such an advantage to have Scott there because he understands the whole picture. He's been a CPA for 30 years. So one of the key things though about college that we talked about, remember everyone's paying different prices. Just like when you go buy a plane ticket and you get out of that plane, everyone's paying a different price for those tickets. So it's important to know how that system works to put yourself in a better position so you can negotiate better with the colleges and get more aid and support. One of the ways you do that is by applying to multiple different colleges. We talked to that, make sure that you know that the colleges know that you're applying to different places so they can compete against one another, which they will. Also know that a lot of times that applying to public and private colleges, everyone thinks the private colleges are going to be more expensive, but very often they can actually have more money and give more support, so it actually can be cheaper to send your kids to a private college, one of those higher end private schools, versus the public universities. One of the other takeaways there is that's really important because it doesn't really matter how much money you have. People think a lot of times, well, if I make a high income, I'm not going to be able to get any support. Absolutely not true. So much of the aid that people think about comes from scholarships, which is true, but the majority of aids can actually come from the college themselves. And that's why when, like Scott talked about, filling out those financial aid forms in the right way, even if you have a higher income, and the way that you're listing assets on your financial aid forms can really make a huge impact. He talked about how he helped one family just fill out their FAFSA form correctly, and it saved them, they got an extra $24,000 for college. And there's other families he's worked with that, got hundreds of thousands of dollars, even when they had higher income, just by looking at all these different colleges, knowing the different colleges. Some colleges have more money than others, some have different programs than others, and that's why I think it's really critical to work with an expert on figuring all that stuff out because I've seen so many families and myself as a fiduciary and as advisor sitting down with families for, nearly 20 years. College, man, is big. And I see people, borrowing against their retirement and not even funding their retirement because they're doing everything they can to send their kids through college, right? Because we would do anything for our kids. But the takeaway here is that there are other strategies. The system is really, I would say, not rigged, but I mean, there's so much variance in what people pay for college that if you know the game, you can really, save a lot of money and get tens of thousands of more dollars in most cases. I mean, really, in most cases, you can do that. So I've also included a link to one of the guides that we have on secrets to college funding. That's what you see here. This is going to go into the basics about learning some of the formulas, how to calculate your expected family contribution, learn about the expenses, cost of attendance, how to put all these things together, and then really go into some of the really important ways to fund college. So that guide's going to help you a lot. And we also have a couple of times left with Scott in Scottsdale. He has, he'll give you an hour of his time for a really low rate. So check out the times that we have available left for that. And I would certainly get on there and get an hour of his time because him being a CPA and a very experienced college planner, no matter what income range you have, he can probably do a lot of good. And that could be tens of thousands, even over hundreds of thousands of dollars like he's done for, families all over the valley. So thanks for checking it out. If you were at the event, thanks for being there. And if you weren't able to make it, hopefully these resources can help. My name is Denver Noah's President of Wealth for Life. Please reach out if you have any questions.